Toronto show on Sunday, and just kind of watching the crowd reaction to everything. It was really intense things kind of got going on these tracks, and I don't know.
Yeah, I think this one's a lot more. It's just before I don't think it like a whole lot of people understood, you know, exactly what we were trying to do aside of like, you know, some doom kids or some metal kids or something like that. And, like, this one, it seems like it's way more appealing to like larger audience. There's more to it. I think there's better songwriting just because we've gotten better at, you know, at like knowing who we are and what we do. You just get better at it as you go. So.
Okay, I got a couple questions along the line.
By the way, those batteries, Brady, in that bag, let's go in guitar land, please. In the toolbox. Sorry about that.
No, it's cool, man.
No, just put them in the toolbox.
This interview's a little bit more like guitar driven, is that right?
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to ask you some of these questions I know, but I got to ask these questions. What type of guitar amp effects setup we're using for the new record?
Well,
different from earlier stuff.
David McNaught, who's a custom guitar maker, he makes guitars for like Clutch. Jimmy Bowers has one. He made me one. I did a lot of the lead stuff on the album with that, you know. And then First Act, I just absolutely. This is my live guitar, and I used it a lot on the record. They made me a 9-string. This is a crazy hybrid guitar that I just love the way it sounds. Live, like I haven't even picked up my Les Paul live since I got
Is it like a heavier guitar, like a Les Paul?
Oh, it's even heavier than that. It's like an inch and a half thicker. It probably weighs like, I don't know, probably like 10 more pounds. It's like huge, dude. And, you know, and always before I could use my Les Paul, my Old Faithful one.
You still bring it out with you?
Oh, yeah, it's my backup, and so's the McNaught. I don't use them as much live because I like the 9-string thing live. And, yeah, you know, and I used
like a smaller kind of guitar, faster.
Yeah, it's real fast, it's real flanky, like it's hard to, you know, he's got a special truss rod system in it that it allows it to like have a lot of tension but still be like kind of flinky to it, you know, and that's how I did a lot of the leads on the album with that one, like, yeah, that one's beautiful, just the way it plays and the way it looks and stuff like that, it's crazy.
On the DVD, I think you're...
Yeah, I was playing it on the DVD, and yeah, it's just really hard to play live because I over fret and like my hand's too strong sometimes when I get like, you know, I'll get into playing and stuff and I just get like I'll over fret and stuff, and that 9-string's a little bit hard to play, but for me it's like perfect because I really dig in, so yeah.
You ever get scared of bringing a string on that? Like with being a 9-string and all? You ever, you know, you hit pretty hard.
Yeah, well, I change strings every show. I have to, you know, I'm playing like 120 or an hour and 20 minutes every night, excuse me. So, yeah, well, sort of. The top ones really don't break all that much, knock on wood. But, yeah, you can check that out if you like.
Okay, sure. What about just sort of extending the question, like there's like amps and effects, anything particular to this record that you're trying out to
I used like typically a little bit of delay on some stuff. I used this weird Ford pedal that preamp when I had the green. The Laney stuff is right off the bat. You know, the AORs were a little feedbacky, but they had the nice chunk. And then, I don't know, the newer Laneys have a really nice, real, like, dark sounding, ambience to them. And they have these weird circle transformers in them. And that dark ambience mixed with that Soldano, the mixture of the two, and the fact that I use 2 foot pedals at the same time usually when I have the other Laney going. So I have them like set up right next to each other. So I can switch the high gain channels off and on at the same time. Or at 2 different, at 2 different, and the SOL is 2 channels too, the Soldano. So, I have a weird way of going back and forth between them and like leaving them on, you know, just the whole tone you get out of both those heads and all those cabs is like, it's fucking amazing sounding. So I get really bummed when I don't have both of those working at the same time. It's like, fuck, you're missing half my sound here, you know? Like,
when you go to Europe, you got to deal with 240 volts. Do you have to take different amplifiers with you?
I usually rent on Model Ts. Pretty soon, well, that's what I've been doing for a long time until I just got hooked up with Laney. So Laney's hopefully gonna, provide me with heads or cabs, or if, you know, the problem with that is if I don't start a tour in Europe, like in Britain, and I have a different company, you know, backline company providing the rest of it in a different part, they don't want to drive all the way to fucking England to get my shit and bring it back to me. So I've had problems, and Matt Apps said they'd endorse me on that side of things too, as far as cabinets, because I tend to like those Matt App cabinets real thick, and